All right, are we recording? Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is GEG Nor Cal, our July 28th meeting. My daughter is talking to me in the background. I'm sorry. But we're super excited you're here. So we had some theatrics to start. What better way? That sounds like she wants an ice pop. What better way to start the school year and our end of July meeting, right? Can we get a woot woot party?
Yeah.
So, whoop, whoop, thanks. So thank you all for being here. I'll get you an ice pop in like 45 minutes, okay? I can't, baby. Hang on.
I wish I could come over and hand her one. I have the same deal with mine.
This group is determined and, well, we're committed is a better word, to inspiring each other and just helping us inspire our students and others around us. So thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to talk, this is our usual meeting agenda, that's the word. Some googly treats, some new stuff going on. We're going to talk about what's working since the last time we had all gotten together. We have some math reps with Lisa. Woo-woo! I'm so excited to hear and see. I've been sharing with my math people, so thank you again for joining us. This is Math Reps Week. If y'all don't know, she's got more this week.
I made it up yesterday.
I love it. It worked for me. I was feeling it. And then we're going to talk about some next steps with NorCal, some PD that is out there, and how you can get involved with our sessions, coming up with ideas and that sort of thing. So I'm here. I'm the leader with Miss Stephanie. Woo woo.
Woohoo.
Okay, keep going. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. I'm going to just, while you're doing that, I'm inviting Alicia because I'm wondering if maybe she didn't see. I'm going to put her on the actual invite because I know she's next up.
I'm sure you guys have heard, but we have some new googly treats for Google Meets. Some of those features are going to be on the enterprise. So there's a nice little link here for you. So there will be backgrounds. Oh, I need permission to see this video. Oops, sorry. I don't know why that is.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, we can fix that later.
Okay.
No worries.
But you can see right here, we get the moderation. See, if we had these updates right now, we wouldn't have had the craziness that was.
True that.
So it's going to be really handy. We can do the mute all. We can kick people out. I mean, we can do that now, but we get larger tiled view. And then some of the enterprise features, of course, a lot of people are waiting for the breakouts and that sort of thing. So yeah, super exciting there. So googly treats, Google Meets, we'll fix the video so you guys can watch that because it goes in a little more detail. Next up is the Google Teach from Home. This is for parents and teachers. It goes through, it's linked there for you, of all the different ways. Share this tab instead. I'm getting proficient. Does that feel good, baby?
There you go. That looks great.
So the Anywhere School, which we are going to host a live viewing, so please join us on that. But you can see that it goes through tools for teachers, for schools, and also for families. I know we're all educators of some sort here, but we can also direct our families and parents to this to get some support with the Google tools, because I know that is some craziness right now. We were talking a little
bit. And then one other thing I can give you a little tiny preview for is it should come out August 13th. It's not on this, but it connects to this one. There's going to be a series of videos. I'm in one of them and I should be doing an introduction, but there's a lot of, and they're going to be like, they're 90-second short videos put together by educators all over the world that are geared at students and parents for how to navigate things within Google Suite. So they're like really short, really useful, 4 steps. And I'm going to model my processes for how we do videos at my school on this process that we ended up doing for this video series. And so those should be coming out. I know school years are starting, but we're supposed to be hitting launch August 13th on those. So I'll keep you posted and send them out. Awesome. They're already made. We just have to get Google to say, yes, you can release it now. So
come on, Google. I know everyone's begging. Another one is the certified coach. So this is a new certificate that has been released. I know I'm working on it. Stephanie's working on it. Lisa, you working on it too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it. It's ideally for those who are 70% coaching, although I'm not a 70%er, but you can still work towards it. We're going to add that to the end. So it's one of those certificated things you can do, but the links here, so you can, if you are a coach in your area, a TOSA, tech mentor, etc., the new program is here. and you want to do the learning process of it over the course of a year with training. You want to have, I think, 8 cycles. Is that right? Am I remembering
Yeah,
correctly?
yeah. And then I have the book right here I could show. There's
Yeah.
like, even if as I pushed my books over, even if you don't end up like doing it, I think some of the processes are quite
It's so
worthy.
good. Yeah.
So like this is the book, Courageous Adventures. Here we go, if you can see the title. And I'm finding that the book itself is a super helpful one. Whether or not you end up going fully through like coaching cycle, it's one I'd highly recommend.
Yeah, it's really great how the breakdown and how data helps, because I know with I forgot to share my screen on the other one. Sorry, I went to the page and didn't show y'all. Um, but how it breaks it down, and how it, talking, constant communication between you, your admin, and those you are coaching. It's really good. I really much enjoyed it. So that is a new one. A lot of us are walking through the process, so feel free to reach out if that is something you are interested in. The new read along is up. Woo, all these things. Google has just seriously impacted how we're opening. They just knew, I guess. So kids can learn now with the Google read along. So I haven't dove into this quite as much, but it just got in launched, excuse me. But it's helping them independently learn and build their reading skills. So it is an app that can be put on tablets and phones. I'm pretty sure it's across the board. It's safe. It has the connectivity, and it's there for you. So we've put all those links in our slides, so you can come back to those. Cool.
And I know someone else was presenting when I saw on that, and how they use it even in like language classes too, and pieces that that help people that are learning English or in the process of learning English, understanding if they're pronouncing words in a way that others would understand them, all of those pieces. So there's so many uses. I look forward to maybe talking through it more, because I haven't used it enough yet myself, but that might be a future talk at a next meeting.
For sure. So we're all probably thinking about the school year. Everyone's in similar situations. I think most of us. Is anyone going back face to face? I'm just curious. So it looks
I'm
like
seeing lots of no head shaking.
Yeah. So I think we've been all thinking about how this is going to look, how this is going to start. So we've added a jam, because what's not a meeting without a Jamboard. So if you want to click on the link there, you can head over with me and just add your sticky notes. They're over there on the left. There are 3 slides. So what is work? Wait, is that the question? Did I get that wrong? It's supposed to say, what's your first day look like? So that's my bad. So I will change that real quick. So what's your first day going to look like? On slide 1. Sorry about that. That's a morning.
It's okay. You made such a cute jam, by the way. It's so cute.
Thanks.
Nice
So
job.
I'll just add it right next to it.
That
So the
looks
first
good.
one, hey, Alicia, she made it. Yay! Sorry about my craziness. Slide 2 is, how will you help students and staff connect beyond that first day? Because I know that's where I'm freaking out the most. And then what are some resources that you want to help share? So we'll give everybody a moment there.
Do you want me to put the link to the presentation, since we're not giant here? Let me get the link for the presentation. I got it. Did you already put it in here?
I'm not, but I'm going to add it right now. I hope this works. I just threw it in there. So let's see.
Oh, that's the Jamboard one. Okay, I'll add the full presentation in a second for people.
Perfect. Okay. So what is our first day? Oh, yeah. And if anyone wants to share out, there's 15, 16 of us here. If you want to share out, please do, because it's all about that collaboration.
And Alicia, who just joined, we went through those beginning slides. So if after we're done with this Jamboard, we just went over a couple things, but if there was anything specific that you wanted to mention that maybe wasn't on those slides, you are more than welcome to, and we can go back for you.
Okay.
So sorry about the lovely visitors this morning.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Happy to have you. Okay, but if you're just popping in, or if you didn't know where to go, the Jamboard is where we are right now, and then we're all adding our ideas there.
Oops, I'm sorry, I moved somebody. Sorry. Oh, collaborative through Padlet, Flipgrid. Yep, I'm using a Flipgrid.
Oh.
Love it. Don't know. Steal these ideas. I don't know because I didn't know either. I'm doing a Google Earth. I'm really excited. I know. Maybe I'll
Oh.
get. Hang on.
On your first day, you know what? You
Yeah.
go get her a popsicle. I'm here. You're all
Oh,
good.
it's okay. Oh, it's
Okay.
my son this time. Yeah, I usually
Oh,
do the first day. I say, "Hi, I'm Mrs. Minji. Welcome to the duck pond. Now we're gonna take out your cell phones." And they all go, "What?" Because I'm junior high, because they think that's like a big no-no. I said, "We're going on a photo scavenger hunt, and it's a way for them to learn our campus without like fun, and like they go through and meet the principals, our admin, our counselor, our librarian. They see that where bathrooms are, because bathrooms are important in junior high, in any school. So I had to convert that to a Google Earth with some form questions, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they feel connected there. So without being there, that's my goal. We'll see. I'll probably hate it.
I'm adding mine right now, and let's see. Mine, like, I have my first couple days because I don't know if anybody else is having. I'm a mentor teacher. Oh, it's maybe mine. So my student teacher, we were having to go through, okay, what does she want to do? So mine, like, I always start with design thinking. And I have a design thinking project that I have a slide deck that David Lee, who wrote this design thinking book, he made a slide deck that allows you to kind of move through design thinking in a virtual way. And then I also have, I should grab them so I could show you. I also have, I'll put the link in here. I have like all my goodies all around my room. D. Lanier made these.
Oh,
Did
I
you
need
get
those.
these? Okay, the solve in time cards. And I'm not gonna do these necessarily the first day or first week, but I'm gonna use the regular pack to help the way that we start our design thinking in pairs and partners, because it gamifies design thinking and provides questions and a way to walk through it. And then there's add-on packs that I got on equity, like civil rights and social impact, that I'm going to do once we know each other a little bit more. But these are amazing, and I've been practicing with them. And
Awesome.
my plan is to actually start in pairs, like not having anything that's big group share out, and then move it to small group using personality stuff. And then I found somebody posted a slide which was like, build out what's inside your locker. And so, like, a visual way to have kids share about themselves. And I'm going to have a few share out each day. And if they don't want to talk out loud, then they write a paragraph, and then I might talk about it. So I'm trying to figure out what are ways that help students get to know each other, but like,
Hi,
what
buddy.
makes them comfortable. So
Anyone else want to share out? Love these ideas. Let's look at the
what are
next
people
one.
saying? Helping people record lessons, using lots of
Yeah.
slides, building community. Love it. Yeah. I have a deck of that I'll add to this slide deck on community building. It came from the design school at Stanford. It's called the Stoke deck. Let me see if I can just find it. Yay. Hi, Abid. Welcome. Okay. Let me grab the link to that one.
So the second one, how to connect beyond. That one I struggle with, because the first one of my first day stuff, great, but usually being in the classroom, you're interacting with everybody. So the more that we get on here, I think will be good. PD on Nearpod, where I'm doing one on Pear Deck tomorrow. So it's funny that we're all thinking about those interactivities. I'm just going to miss seeing them face to face, because I have 200 students in a day, obviously not in one meeting, but connecting with them. And it's junior high, they're not going to want to show their face, they're not going to want to talk. And like in classroom, I could be like, hey, so whisper in their ear and like, what's going on? And it's going to be, I'm struggling with that, y'all. So yeah, it looks like using Google Meet. I'm hoping my office hours, which I'm calling workshop hours, so hopefully they don't think it's work, I'm going to play games. Like, if no one has questions, we're going to play games.
Totally.
I'm going to play some Drawsaurus, which is a new favorite of mine. We're going to just go on scavenger hunts. I don't know what else. I think just making it fun.
I love that.
Family conversations. I'm going to reach out to a lot of parents too. That's a good one. Whoever put that.
Great one.
A celebrity. Resources you want to share? We got the Bitmoji craze is huge right now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I'll add the Stoke deck for sure there. Give me a second on that one. Here it is.
I think Smart Start's a way to go with Edgy Protocols, getting those
I
routines
agree.
down. I usually spend 2 weeks, but with this, it's a little harder, but I've squeezed them in, y'all. I did it. We're gonna see. So that's my start is Edgy Protocols and Smart Start. So I'll add that.
Okay,
Anybody else? I'll spell it right because I always spell it wrong. All right. And of course, we'll leave these up so you can have access to these. If you've thought of something you want to share, please do. We'll add the links to our resource page on our GEG site as well. All right. You guys are awesome. We're quiet. We must be all feeling the same heaviness I felt this morning. Oh, it's time for Lisa. Woo! Do you want to control Lisa and or I can click, whatever you want to do.
Okay, no, you click. I don't even have the I don't have it up or anything like that.
That's okay.
That's why I just thought it would just be easier to put in this slide so we don't have it's just a little bit more flowy-ish. There's a new word for you, flowy-ish. That's why I do that.
So Lisa and I met at Fall Q years and years and years ago.
Was it Fall Q or
was it?
No, I don't know if it was Fall Q. I do have a memory of you. We were running across the keynote area of I think it was an ed tech team event, and you were like, "Do you remember that?"
And we're like, "We're
here.
Let's just do it."
There was like 2 of us, and we were like, "That's just here." I'm like, "Where are you?" And you were on one side, and we were on another side. Yes, it was very crazy. I don't remember if that was our meeting, but that's one of my memories.
Hey, it's all good. I know since I had kids, it's been quiet for me. But Lisa and I have known each other for quite a while, and so I'm super excited. I asked her if she would present with us because Math Reps is awesome, and Math Reps is if I taught math, I would only do Math Reps, like not even joking. It goes right along with Edgy Protocols with John Crippo, and it's just some pure edu magic, if I can use that. So we're going to give some time to Lisa, and she's going to go through it, and I'll click, and it'll be awesome.
Sure.
So
hi, I'm Lisa. You can find me on Twitter at NoahTechie. And so you can go ahead to go to the next slide. I don't even remember what they look like. I was trying to get them.
And then Vanessa, do you want to make those the bigger view if you can? I think people were going to ask for that. Thank you.
I'll wait.
Okay, so I may not know how to do that. Because I'm presenting.
You were going in and out of it before when you were doing the Chrome tab, I thought. No?
Is that bigger?
It wasn't?
No.
No. Oh, man. Because it's presenting the whole screen. It's in present mode, so I don't know.
Okay. We will.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
It'll work.
Oh, Avid said it's the button next to the settings. I like that we're getting our tech support. Button next to the settings.
It says exit full screen, so I don't know. I can do that. You want to do it like,
oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, I learned something new. Thank
for
you.
The win. Yeah.
You rock.
Okay, I'm going on mute.
All right. Sorry. I've had this cough for a couple of days, and now I'm convinced I've got the Ronas because I'm a ridiculous human being. So Math Reps, pretty funny. It started off just for my class, and this was the very first Math Rep that I ever created. And people they always ask me, what is it? What is it? And it really is just a way to review multiple standards on a consistent basis with the same paper. And all you do as a teacher is change one. I always want to point at my screen, which is ridiculous, I'm getting better. In the springtime, it was ridiculous. You just change one number. So today's number, that's the only thing you change. So I taught 5th grade for the last, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. And excuse me, and I noticed about 5 years ago that so my school is on trimesters, and trimester 1, we learned all about, the NBTs, right? And then trimester 2, we do fractions because that's super fun. And then in third trimester, we do like geometry and measurement and test. Super, super fun. So when my students would get to the testing time, they had forgotten everything they did in the first trimester, and I thought, oh, that's not good. Then I went to a Q conference, or I saw John Crippo talking about 8 parts of speech. So this is all modeled off of 8 parts of speech. And real quick, if you don't know what that is, he gives kids a picture. And instead of doing week 1, we're going to talk about nouns. Week 2, we're going to talk about verbs. Week 3, we're going to talk about adjectives, and so on and so forth, and doing that for 8 weeks. He's like, forget it. We're going to do everything at once. And we're going to do all 8 of them for 8 weeks. So they actually get consistent repetition with everything at once. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. And because of the way my mind works, I'm a mathy kind of person. I know everybody's a math person. I'm a person, I do math, right? But my mind always goes towards math. Like I'm obviously I gravitate towards math. And so with this model, I was like, I can do this. And then I was like, I can't make it universal. Like I have to come up with more than one paper. I was kind of bummed on that one. So this particular paper, 5th grade, you just come up with the numbers. So they're practicing all of these key standards. I think there's something like 8, 10 standards that are on this one paper. What is 10 times greater? 10 times, 10, 1/10 less. Now you're adding those numbers, and there's always a decimal in there. And so then you get to talk about that. And then you go into like expanded form and word form. I think I may have changed. No, I don't. That's the new one. Notation I use as well. And all of these different things, and they're doing it all at once. A really great story is last year, and I love this story. And this is no slight on the teacher. Her and I had talked about it. So in my 5th grade team, towards the end of the year, we had started like prepping for test, or 2 years ago, actually, we had started prepping for the test, and we had given the kids a task. And essentially what it ended up being was that they had to add all of these numbers, the decimals. She was like, I just don't know, like my kids, they had so much trouble. They didn't know what to do with the decimals. And I was like, that's so weird. Like my kids, like they aced it. Like they were fine. And so I went back to my class, and I just couldn't figure out. I mean, I had an inkling. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and I had an inkling, and I was like, guys, what do you think? And I told the story about another class, and it was fine. Like we weren't bashing the other class or anything. So it was very open. That's the kind of relationship I have with my students. And one of my students raises his hand and he goes, well, you make us do the math reps all the time, and it's been on the math reps. I was like, okay, thank you. So it really does carry over, and it's just this constant thing that they're doing. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, Lisa, but is it just for 5th grade? Okay, here is the beauty of math reps. No, we have math reps from kindergarten to high school. I'd like to say 12th grade, but I don't know what math they teach at 12th grade. And you're like, but Lisa, if you don't know what math they teach in 12th grade, how do you have this? Oh, because this is like a collection of things. This has just been this whole resource that people are like, oh, I made a math rep, and we collect them. There's a couple of us, and we collect them and plunk them in a central location. So you can go to the next slide, I think. And so how do you do it? Oh, wait, don't click yet. Go back. Okay. So how you do it is the first week you do it together. It's all about the togetherness. And I'm not going to lie, the first time I pull it out, it just takes forever to get through. So there's a couple different ways that you can get started with this. So once you get the file, currently I started off in Google Slides, so I'll just start there. So I started off in Google Slides. And in Google Slides, if you just file, make a copy, we love that, file, make a copy, you can take out the ones that you don't want. And then so if you just want to focus on word form and expanded notation, well, then take everything else out and maybe, put that like on 2 parts of the page, and then on the back. I've never heard of board math. And then, put 2 on 2. So you can do like 4 on 1 page if you wanted to do. But wait, so the first day you do it, it's going to be very painful. You walk them through it. it's fine. By Friday, if you do the whole page, which I've done by that, yes. So by Friday, actually by Thursday, you get it down to, first time I did it was like 45 minutes and like pounding my head against a brick wall sounded like a way better option, but I went with it. And then on Friday, you give the same paper as an assessment. Hi. So Mondays through Thursdays, you do it together. Once you're done with that together phase, you have them do it. I usually set a timer on it so that they can just stay on task. It's not like, ooh, timer, and you only have 5 minutes to finish it. It's more to keep them, it's called Parkinson's Law. It's to keep them on track. And so then on Friday, I just give them the paper and I'm like, okay, do what you can do. And I would have kids freak out last year and they're like, I can't, I don't know. I'm like, that's okay. Like, you're just going to do this paper and I'm going to check it and I'll give it back to you. And then we started graphing, like, you know, what they got right and talking about what they wanted to work on. So I had one girl, she was like, okay, well, I got one right. And next week I'm going to, try I'm going to focus on these 2 concepts. I was like, that's fantastic. So she would focus on just 2 of those concepts. And if she met that goal, great, maybe she got 3 the next week instead of having however many are on that paper. I don't care. She's making progress and she's setting her own goal. So you can click again. I think there's one more. So you can also differentiate on this. So once you get the kids going on this, they are totally into it. So like, they can do it all on their own. You can, filter around the classroom when things are normal and not, COVID related times. And you can filter around the classroom. And I usually had it on a piece of paper. I think I'm going to change that if I ever go back into the classroom. And so let's say my girl who was working on certain standards, like, actually, I know a couple of years ago, I had a boy. Didn't matter how many times we did it over again. Like, he was in resource. He just couldn't get most of the things. Like, he just couldn't. So what I can do is for him, I can print out or assign on Google Slides through Google Classroom. I can assign a very particular paper. So maybe I made a particular paper that has taken away so many of the boxes. He's really only focusing on 2 of them. Nobody around him knows, especially now. Nobody knows. It's fantastic. And I can differentiate it so that it meets his needs and whatever goals that he's working on with his resource teacher. So next slide. Do we have any questions so far? On a formative, and then see the kids working in real time. Ooh, that's a good idea. So here is, file, make a copy. I forgot I put that in there. Yeah. So once you get it, just go ahead and file and make a copy. So Danielle, that's a great idea. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide. If you wanted to do like that, I'm toying with putting it in Nearpod, and I don't think I have a picture of it, but Amanda Sandoval made an amazing one for first grade for her son, and she teaches middle school social studies, history, and Nearpod or Pear Deck, yes. And she did it in Pear Deck, and it's this beautiful one. She did it all with Pokemon, which it's in our collection. So if you wanted to look at it, you'd be able to look at it. We don't actually advise that just because it's a copyrighted image and things like that. So that would be perfect. I think Nearpod and Pear Deck are perfect for this. And I know people are starting to create them in those platforms. And so last week, things kind of blew up craziness, right? So at some point I decided, like Jamboard has been my collection, like my tool this past school year. Like, I just love Jamboard. In the springtime, I was doing collaborative lessons with students. So a few students would stay after, and she did it in Spanish. Oh my God, that is amazeballs with a Z at the end of that. God, that's fantastic. I would love to have a copy of that. In the springtime, I had a couple of students who would stay after. And so we would play on Jamboard and we would do the work together. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. So last week, I started putting some of these things on Jamboard, and it then blew up. Everybody was like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Like, I've had so many retweets, and I did not create this. So this is one of the beautiful parts of this whole journey that I've been on. Because when I started this, legit, I started it for my class only. And then somehow it started. And then my friend who taught first grade at the time was like, I'm like, oh, let's make one for you. And then there was a whole thing that went along with that. And we were chatting about that last night. And so this was made by Megan Cannon Johan, and she makes them pretty. Like, lower elementary teachers, you all zhuzh it up. Like, you make things pretty. I don't make things pretty. Like, mine are like utilitarian. I'm like, yeah, here, just do it. And I had a fight with my first grade friend. She's like, you got to make it pretty. I'm like, no, you don't, whatever. No, she's right. You got to make it pretty. So this is part of the Jamboard collection. We have Jamboard collections. Not everything is in Google Slides. For K-8, everything is in Google Slides and Jamboard. I'm working on the high school edition now. There are some at the high school edition. I think oh God, what is it? I think the geometry ones are. I think those are in the high school collection right now. And so this is really good. There's a couple caveats though to Jamboard. So as you know, Jamboard, you can't have like a set background. So you can't have this as the set background. And everything's kind of movable. So you have to watch out for that. But there is enough manipulatives on the sides that the kids can put things over. I would assign it through Google Classroom so that each student gets their own copy. And because I just could see this being a hot mess of epic proportions once you have like everybody jumping in and doing like their own. I think that would just hot mess. I was talking to Joe Marquez and John Crippo last night on Q Super Share, and I was sharing this out, and they had some really good ideas too of like, if you have a lot of kids and you do want to put it all in one jam, so you have all these different mats or slides, just break it up into like maybe the first, Joe had suggested 20, like for kids. I would just like give them their own, lower elementary especially. You can break it up into 10, so you can kind of break it up as well depending on how you want to do that. So we have it in Jamboard too. And not only is it in Jamboard, I'm finding that I know Ben Cogswell put it in Seesaw. Some other people are putting it in Seesaw. Kim Vogie is looking at putting it into Rocketbook. I've heard people putting them into Canva. So like this is not like platform specific. You can have it on any platform that you're familiar with. Just take my stuff and like revamp it. Okay, go ahead. So the one thing that I often forget about, I know, but wait, there's more, is there are other math reps that are out there. They're not necessarily math reps. They're more math protocols, edu protocols, which there's a book coming out. I don't have the date on it yet, but it's written. And these are some of the sneak previews that are in it. All of these things are also in the Google Drive and on our website. So there's things like tic-tac-toe, and I just kind of looked at not necessarily a little bit of the DOK levels, but the 4 outside corners of tic-tac-toe are like super straightforward, easy ones. The ones that make the cross, those 4 are like word problems, maybe a little bit harder because I could just see like my kids. I know my kids. I was a kid once. Which ones are the easiest ones, and that's where I'm going. And there's a whole way to like set it up and do it. You have Sous Chef, which is based off of Iron Chef, but we don't give them time, and it's not with new material. So with Sous Chef, we go ahead and I give 3 to 4 slides, and I give 1 problem. So I split my kids up into groups, and each group gets a different problem, whether it's fractions or multiplication, it doesn't matter. And slide 1 might be, oh yeah, they're all perfect for distance learning. And these ones that are on this page, they can fit any grade level. These are the ones that like I don't have to create ones for each grade. Like y'all can do that, based on your needs and your students. Sous Chef, so the first slide might be area model. Second slide might be, so if we're doing multiplication, so second slide might be partial product. Third slide might be the actual traditional algorithm. And the fourth slide, sometimes I do a fourth slide. If there's 4 kids, it depends on my class. I have them make up their own word problem. Like, you make up a word problem that fits this particular number problem. So they can either have one kid do it, or have all 3 of them work on it together, and I don't really care. There's one that's, I'm looking in the top right underneath, but wait, there's more. That one is kind of like make up your own number talk. So you can either use the images that are there. I also have a link of where I get images for like a number talk, and they have to come up with different, again, you do everything together like the first couple of times. You know, we write down 4 different, what do you notice, what do you wonder, 4 different equations, and then they have to write a word problem that goes with it. So it's getting a little bit more of that deeper dive for them. And then my personal favorite is the one that's between the There's More and the Fast and Curious, with math reps, and I'll get to that with math facts. I'll get to that one too. That one is called, it's got a very long name because I didn't want to copyright anything, Mathemagicalville. Comic strip math. I know, I see you laughing, Danessa. And like, I called it one thing and whatever. So all of the images on there free to use. Actually, that one I'm looking at, that one's an old one, I think. I think that one might, no, that might be a new one. So the cool thing about this one is I had kids a couple years ago that were totally into comics. Like, I could have conversations with them, like DC versus Marvel and the Arrow and did you catch the last Flash? Okay, and all of that stuff. So I had the idea of like, oh, what if you have a problem and the kids have to then break it down so the first square gets the problem, and that is an evil character, by the way. The evil character is called Dark something, I can't remember the name. My class came up with it, so like they're all, you know, they all get the credit for it. But that character was created by a student of mine. She had a program. She was a 5th grader, and she brought it. She was like, I was like, would you like to? She's like, sure. Master of Dark. That's what the character's name is. And so I said, sure. So she did that, and it's fantastic. It's a non-gender specific character. And so on and so forth. She has since updated it, and I need to update the slides. She contacted me in the springtime and said, hey, Miss N, I reworked it. It's way better now. So I have a new Master of Dark for you. I was like, oh my God, I love you. So she got some lunch out of that one. And then they just kind of go through and break it down. And the little bubbles in the corner of those are just for if the teacher gives a hint. So you can kind of give a hint along the way. I like it because it makes them stop and break down what they're doing, so you can kind of get into their thought process. And then instead of saying name, we say the adventures of or the tales of, and then they put their name, and they're like, and I was schooled on the right font as well, by the way. They were like, you can keep this, Miss N, and then at the end you can make it into a comic book, and like each kid can have their own comic book. So we also have like the beginning, like the cover page and the end page of like a comic book that they help design as well. So it's fantastic. And finally, Fast and Curious Edu Protocol. If you're familiar with that, I use quizzes. You just kind of go in, you give it to them cold. You record as a group, always as a group, the high score and the low score for the week. I did this with math facts. I was opposed to it. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I had an argument with John, total argument with John. No, he's like, do it. I'm like, no, do it. No. And like we went back and forth. I'm like, fine. And I did it. And my kids loved it. I was like, all right. All right. Yeah, right. And so I did it. And this is the beautiful story. Oh my God, this is such a great story. So I did it this year. And of course, my kids came in at, I think, 56%. Like, that's where they were as a whole, knowing their basic math facts in 5th grade, 3 times 4, 8 times 6. Then we just do it every day. So I was only going to do it like 4 days a week. No, I got begged to do it 5 days a week. 5 days a week. Okay, but wait, it gets better. I also have a student, struggling student all around. She's competitive. And And so if on quizzes she wasn't doing well enough, she knew that if she got one wrong, she could have the redemption question at the end. She was cool with that. If she got 2 wrong, she would lock herself, get herself out and say, Miss N, the game kicked me out. I was like, okay, the game did not kick you out, but okay. So after a while, I ended up having that conversation with her. I was like, honey, you don't need to tell me the game kicked you out. Just say, Miss N, I need to get back in. I'm like, I know what you're doing and I don't care. She's like, what? I'm like, I don't care. And so she would get out and to get back in just so that she could get it right. So what she was ended up doing, instead of practicing 10 facts, she was practicing 15, 18, however many facts. She was doing more work than other people, and the class started catching on to what she was doing, and they got angry. And I was like, what? She's doing more work than you. Why are you angry? They're like, oh. I mean, I did bribe them a little bit because it was tied to like the positive, like I would pay them money because they had classroom economy last year. So, if you got 100%, you did it, didn't care how you got it. So she was getting the money. She wanted the money. I don't care. I mean, you were motivated. So Christmas came, or excuse me, winter break came, and we have 3 weeks off at winter break. So after winter break, I went back into the classroom and was like, oh God, this is going to be disastrous. Like we before winter break, we're at 97%, like as a class, knowing our math facts. After winter break, I was like, ooh, it's going to get down to like 80s. Like we're going to lose some. I know we're going to lose some. 94%. We lost 3%, right? It stuck. And they did not practice their math facts over the break. Like, let's just be real. Like nobody's practicing math facts over the break. So those are my stories about it. So I think you can go to the next slide. I don't think I have another slide, but I might. Oh, I think I do. Yeah. So you can find, go back one. Thanks. So you can find everything on our website, New Design, mathreps.com. I also have mathreps.org. There's a whole story behind that one too. So you can go ahead, check it out there. It directs you. Everything is, of course, free because we all believe in open pedagogy. So I will stop talking because, wow, that was a lot of talking. Any questions? You guys had some great ideas too.
You are awesome. I'm so happy that you presented with us. And I know, like, I'm English, but I keep sitting there going like, this is amazing. And I love the crossover. I love the way that you have students, like the way that you did the comic book, like the talking through the math, the storytelling through, like there's a reason why it sticks. And I keep thinking about like my pathway is interdisciplinary, and I continue to weave in all other subjects within my English class. So this just made me happy. I was like, oh, here we go. So
yeah, it's great. And I think the comic book one is really good for science too. I can definitely see that one for science. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
History, the works, the gamut, y'all. Woo, Lisa! Let's give it up for Lisa one more time.
Thank you. And feel free to contact me if you like have any questions or like you make your own. Like, dude, we'll put it all in. Just make sure you put your name on the bottom so you get the credit for it and everything. So yeah, yay.
Heck yes. Oh, y'all.
Thank you, Lisa. Do we have some congratulations?
I think so.
Okay.
So
lots of good
we
stuff
have some congratulations. And so, just remember there's some, if you want to get level 1 or 2, the level 2 boot camp just finished, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. So,
that one. More is coming, I'm sure. But if you wanted to get your level 1 or level 2, we are all here. Your trainer, that is open all year round. They check them about every month, they meaning Google. And of course, Innovator, they just released who's in VIA 20, all online. So, but we can help you in the future too, because there's a few of us. And then of course we're going to add the Google,
the coaches. Yeah.
Thank you. The one-to-one.
My
brain stopped.
I got you.
So yeah, it's all here. If you want to see, everything's linked for you. And we do have some celebrations. Woo! Yay! So yay to all these people. So Tammy got her level 1. Yay, Tammy!
Oh, Tammy! Congrats, Tammy.
Danielle got her level 1 too, and she's here.
Yay! Love Danielle.
We have Maureen got her level 1 too. Also, excuse me. We have Adam. Oh, this was like the best thing, and I have been sitting on it for like ever because it hasn't been released yet. But he and Catherine are publishing a book, y'all, and we got it the goods first. Woo!
That is so huge.
I know. It was so huge. And I was just like, oh, he's letting us share this. So it's coming out, I think he said October in the fall. So look for it through Dave Burgess Publishing. So yay, right here, NorCal, here we go. And then this is one of my favorites too. Not that they're not all my favorites, but Raphael was just so excited just to meet all of us. And I put that in too. So we are happy to meet you, Raul. So thank you so much. If you guys have some, woo! So if you have anything you want to celebrate or we want to add, because we want to celebrate you. This is not about me or Stephanie. It's about y'all. So click that link.
Someone was asking what's the title of Adam's. Adam
I'm sorry. I should have said that. It's Adam and Catherine's. Learning? Yeah, Lead with Learning, Organic EdTech, which I love. So that's going to be awesome. So I'm sure we'll get some info when it is released. So yay, congratulations to all of you. We are so excited to support you and see you guys doing great things. Next, I'm going to introduce
if you didn't know, sorry, Vanessa, Vanessa sent out, like you can send these in. So we'll gather them over the next month if you have things to celebrate, and we want to put you on the slide. So all are welcome. If you share it, she'll put it on there. So
yep, and I'll add it right now. So yeah, and then up next we're going to introduce. We have some captains now. So it's been me and Stephanie for a little while, which is great and wonderful. But we love having all of you who want to dive in and help with our gig. If you're interested, let us know. But up first is Dawnette. Do you want to? You want me to just click Dawnette?
Yes, please. If you can just click for me.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited about the edu protocols and the math reps. So yay, I'm a math teacher. So that's going to be exciting. Middle school, my students have, all that coming. So I'm very excited about that. So this is just a little bit about me. I am going to go just a little bit into this. I'm a mother of 4, single mom of 4. They're all adults, thank goodness. But I'm also a grandmother of 5, and there's a picture of us last year. That was not this year because nobody can go anywhere. That's this year. I'm sorry, last year at Lanikai Beach. I don't know if you've been there. It's so beautiful, and I just totally wish I was there right now. And I've added a second picture there. I was fortunate enough to travel under quarantine. If you travel, you have to go under quarantine 14 days. So I went under quarantine 14 days before my 5th grandson's due date, and I was there 14 days, and then I was under quarantine on the military base because my daughter's in the Navy, and the baby was born. Oh my gosh, she came in like 25 minutes. It was a hilarious story. I could tell you another time, but that's my family, all of my grandkids and all of my kids. You see there in the picture. So much is, when I first started teaching in 2005, I was an e-learning teacher and nobody really knew what that was. I was one of like very few within our school district. I think I actually was the only one. So my thesis when I got my master's degree was on the importance of teaching teachers how to use tech to integrate into their classroom. And when I went through my methodology program, it was about, can you make a PowerPoint? Can you make a Microsoft Word document? It had nothing to do with tech. And I'm like, everybody knows how to do this. How are you teaching us how to integrate? It was non-existent. So I created my thesis off that. But that was so long ago. It's only 15 years ago. But so much has changed since then. At my school currently, I'm one of 4 trainers, not just the one. And there's 3 other techie teachers at my school, so I'm very excited about that. And I host our makerspace at our school, computer club. And last year we started a girls talk because we felt it was important that girls, got their chance to become important, show them other leaders. We've invited reps and different people from the tech industry to our school to give a girls talk. And last year we ended it through virtual talking. I also teach math computers, and last year we started a broadcast news station at my school. So that was exciting. I'm also a podcast host, and in addition to tech, my passion is around reducing the stigma of mental health. So that's what my podcast is about. It's even so much more needed now that everybody's in their own home and, everybody's struggling. Teachers are struggling, students are struggling, parents are struggling. It's just so essential. And one of the things that led me to my being a mindful educator was the fact that through the 70 plus people that I talked to on my podcast, I found out that in their middle school years that they said if they just had one person to talk to about their struggles, things would have been okay. And so I was like, you know what? I'm a middle school teacher. I do teach math, but hey, this is so important. So if you can flip over to the next slide. So many kids are struggling in the classroom that I started this in my classroom 2 years ago. Last year, I did it all year. It is a chart that I put on the wall. I created Post-it notes that I gave to my students. I've upgraded that. I made it a little bit more techie by laminating them and putting a magnet on the back. So kids come into the classroom and they immediately put where they are. I have a pocket of 6 classes. Every kid has a Post-it, and they do that. And it takes literally a minute. And I'm able to visually check in on my students every day, even though I have a math lesson ready. I can see, oh, who needs to talk to somebody? Who needs to talk to me? Who's struggling? And I'm really mindful of their well-being while they're in the classroom, just in that 1 to 2 minutes that I do, that check-in. I have been able to get, gosh, I would say last year, maybe 15 kids support, counseling sessions. Some of them were, suicidal, just so many different things that kids go through that this process has helped. And so one thing that I want to say is that we also not only do that, but every week, even though I teach math, and a lot of teachers say that I cannot integrate this into my classroom, we did every week a type of circle where I taught the kids to look at the world through another lens, look at the world through somebody else's perspective, where it broke down walls, provided kids with an understanding of how somebody else is culturally impacted. And so we can find commonalities and see each other as humans, and that in and of itself, especially with what our world is going through now, has been a huge thing in my classroom. Kids they used to pile in my class at lunchtime just, to come, just because they knew I was very transparent with them. Anyway, I was going to be talking about how this is going to be in a virtual space, but I'm going to hold off on that until I can do it through my innovation. I have some ideas, but I don't have all the ideas. I'm just kind of thinking about it in my head. But I do want to inspire you to go after anything that you can do and to, raise the bar. This summer, I got my Google 1, my Google 2, I got my Flipgrid 1, 2, 3, I got my Nearpod certificate, I got my Screencastify and my Apple Educator. All of those this summer. Even though I have a master's degree, I was like, why do I need to do that? I have a master's degree. But I said, you know what? That was like so many years ago. I'm going to go ahead and do this to prove, hey, I do know this. And I learned a lot. So I'm here to inspire you. You can do anything. And I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Awesome. And up next, our second captain is Alicia.
Woo! Okay, well, I'm like, okay, what do I say?
Oh, you're
so
awesome,
inspiring.
Alicia. You just I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm Alicia Vasquez. I was an ed tech TOSA for my district for 5 years. And I was really thankful that we were doing the work, because when we had to go into shelter in place, we had about probably 50% of our teachers who were kind of like on board. And then it took 2 weeks to get the other ones on board. So let's see, I'm the mother of a high school teen who, always inspires me to be a better teacher and understand, what kids are going through at the different ages that she's been going through. I have a puppy, you can see her on there, and she keeps me exercising. So that's a good thing. I've been teaching for 10 years. I taught elementary for 6 years, and then I took some time off and went to teach in Madrid. I taught English at an institute that is like a nonprofit for MIT, and I learned a lot about teaching English to people who are trying to learn it. So I use that a lot with my students. I call myself an ELL English language learners advocate because and people are like, why are you so passionate about that? And I spend a lot of time trying to research best practices and to marry English language strategies with technology. I really believe that technology can be that assistant that we used to have when I was a kid. So that's what I've been doing a lot of PD on. I have a website on it, and I try to reach out to everybody who's trying to find best practices of helping students. And like I have come across some really, really good teachers that are doing some great stuff for English language learners. So I try to put all that on my blog. I'm a code.org facilitator. So I do that probably like 4 times a year, and I try to teach teachers to use code.org to connect it to math and English so that they can bring it into the content areas. I love to travel, and I love to write my blog. I do a lot of project-based learning for the English program at our school. For the English language learners and the newcomers, I do robotics and I do makerspaces because I feel makerspaces are a great way to get students talking that otherwise wouldn't really talk. So that's me. I'm super excited to be part of this. And yeah, I love sharing what I learn with other people and just trying to soak up everything that I'm learning today. Thank you.
Yay! We're nearing that time, so we're gonna go. So there's some global. Whoops! Oh my gosh, sorry.
Okay.
Try to go. So we have some global events coming up. You want to?
Yeah. All right. So I'll go over those ones. Let me know if you can't hear me. Sorry, my internet's been in and out with 3 kids on devices while I'm in this meeting. So, so I just left to open the door to say, Izzy, get off the internet so that it doesn't go out while I'm here. Okay. But I just wanted to say I'm so excited to have Alicia and Donette, and I think they're going to enhance this already awesome group, and I can't wait to keep adding more goodness because it's like they're obviously amazing and they're going to bring so much. I was already learning just from their short shares, and I can't wait for more. So 4 events, if you didn't know, I'm here as one of your co-leaders, and I'm very happy to be so. I also am one of the founding members of Global GEG, if you've been seeing this everywhere. Abid, who is in this call, is another founding member, but there are 6 of us, and then there are 70 plus leaders. I mean, it's growing, 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 and then there are thousands of members. So it's been awesome. But these are 4 events that I pulled out from our upcoming. We have a ton, probably like 2 to 3 a day that are been happening all summer. But I pulled out ones that I thought specifically might help this NorCal group that are coming up. Later today is one on STEM. So if you're a STEM teacher, this might be an awesome one for you. And they're all linked. So on this, it links you to the YouTube link for it. Then if you teach younger students, and the one on July 31st is geared at pre-K and first grade, and it's all about innovative play with younger ones, with littles is what they were calling it. August 1st is a Flipgrid for all. So if you're a fan of Flipgrid, there's going to be some great people. My innovator mentor is going to be speaking there, Natasha Rochelle. She's amazing, Dr. Natasha Rochelle. And Randall Sampson, also Dr. Randall Sampson. Sorry. Okay. And then, but some amazing speakers. So please go to that one. If you use Flipgrid, you'll love it. And then August 8th, Dr. Natasha Rochelle is going to be doing a whole session on back to school tips and tricks right before we go back in. Some of you are going back the week before, but all of those are wonderful, wonderful. Oh yes, Lisa is the mentor to Bonnie, one of our other founding members. So yes, okay. So this is we're just excited about these upcoming events, and there are many more, but I tried to pick out and highlight ones that I thought would be worthy for the start of the school year for all of you.
And you can sign up for all events, so you get emails on those right there. So do that. I get all those emails. And upcoming, we're gonna have a watch party, and more information is coming about that. But it's the Anywhere School school. It's linked. It has a connection to the link earlier with for teachers and parents and educators. So check that out. We'll be posting that in our GEG.
Yeah, they
Google
said there's going to be
group.
some games we can play as we
Yeah.
watch it. I don't know, like a bingo board or I don't know, something.
Something's cool. So, and then also we had some PD brought up for us. Doreen brought us through the Cross Center. So these are for a fee. It's pretty minimal, but beginning classroom, K5, and classroom use for 6-12. So some workshops for you to get ready if you need those.
Yeah.
And then we have My Name and My Identity. This is from Alicia, correct? Am I correct in that?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So if you want to just check it out, we are developing with the Santa Clara County Office of Education some units for grade bands K2, 3, 5, and then 6, 12. And they're all about recognizing students' names and connecting with them about their identity. And it really kind of lays out your beginning days. So we go into building a community, working together, making the rules and the norms and that kind, and then just reflecting. So if you want to check it out, the information's right there.
Awesome.
And it's linked here too. So yeah, lots of opportunities, guys. I know we got school on the brain, so we're trying. And then finally, if you want to connect with us, we have everything's linked. If you would like to present like Lisa did today, you have an idea for something. It could be just a cool tool. It could be something you've learned. It doesn't have to be a huge, hour-long presentation.
No, last month we did friendmojis, right? So
yes.
I
Oh my
think,
gosh, that was so fun.
So it's really like, if there's something that inspires you, what I have learned over this last year is it likely will inspire others. Like Lisa was saying, these were things she did in her classroom. So it's about sharing so we all can learn from it.
Sharing is caring, as my son would say. If you have any ideas for or thoughts, maybe you need help with something, fill this link out. It's a form, just so we get ideas on what you guys need at our next meeting. If you'd like to share your address with us, we might have something cool to share with you.
Oh, yeah.
So I know, I'm so excited. So that'll help us plan better for y'all. And of course, connect with us on the webpage, the Google Groups, on Twitter, on Facebook, and help us grow. We are so thankful for all of you, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. If you are a Bitmoji fan, please add your own Bitmoji to our banner and we'll get those up. We like to use those and we are so thankful.
Yeah, then we'll update it on the website. We have that. So then you'll get to be up there on the website.
Yeah. And that's a wrap, y'all. Woo!
Yay!
Thank you all.
Yay! We did it. I'm so proud of us. And then we'll likely be maybe polling again, because we know that once we go to have an August meeting, we'll all be back at that point, I'm assuming. So we'll want to find out like what timing. Obviously, we likely couldn't do a Tuesday at 10 a.m. again. So we'll just figure out what's going to work. Would people prefer an evening? Is this like, a Thursday night, a Friday night, or is it a weekend? Like, we don't know what's best for everyone, and we want to make it something doable. So we're happy to figure that out all together, and we'll be messaging out. And perhaps our captains, they've already shared some amazing things. If they have ideas for other events, you might be hearing from them as well. So
awesome. Yep. Thank you guys so much. And
thank you for joining.
Next time. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
I'll post this recording on the website as well. It'll be up later today.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We know you could be anywhere, but you chose to be with us. Oh my gosh.
I mean,